This is the typed outline that you're going to use to complete section 4 of our notes on the age of exploration or the age of discovery. So by the time you are watching this video, you should have already completed the questions on Columbus and De Las Casas. Those were just 6 quick multiple choice questions, and now you're ready to get the information on section 4 that's titled the Americas. So again, hopefully you're starting to get used to the typed outlines, and if you have any questions, please let me know. So let's begin talking about the Americas, section 4 of your outline, by pointing something out to you on the map. Anytime we mention the Americas or the New World, we are making reference to North America, South America, Central America, okay? So this whole area here is what we refer to as the Americas, aka the New World. And remember, earlier this week, we talked a little bit about the 2 countries that paved the way for exploring for the all water routes and kind of got it all going for everyone else, and that was Spain and Portugal. Well, of those 2 countries, one of them is going to be the first to claim what we know as the New World or the Americas, and that country is going to be Spain. So Spain becomes the first country to claim the New World, which is the Americas. And the person that claimed that land for Spain happens to be someone who is not even Spanish. This person didn't even live in Spain, and that is Christopher Columbus. So a couple things about him. I'll be going over this information right here, which will be found on number 2 on your Roman numeral 4 typed outline. So just get it down as I'm going over it, okay? So we know that Christopher Columbus was actually Italian, and he, unlike others, were looking at the possibility of sailing west in order to get to Asia, okay? He knew that the Portuguese had already found the all-water route to the east by going all the way around Africa, and Columbus truly believes that the same thing can occur, meaning we can get to Asia, but by going west. So again, let me show you what I'm talking about on the map. So here's Spain right here, and what Columbus believes is that if he were to get enough funding for a trip, he could leave from this area of Europe, head west this direction, and clearly he would go this way, you know, in order to get to Asia. Now, he doesn't know that's what would have to happen because there's no cut through here, but we all know that that would be the only way, which is what Magellan does by the 1500s. But remember, this is still the late 1400s when Christopher Columbus is trying to figure out how he can get to this part of the world, Asia, by sailing west. So first, he goes to his native country of Italy, and he asks the King of Italy, can you provide men and ships and the funding that it would take to sail to Asia by going west? Well, that king laughed at him and didn't believe one word that that could even happen. Long story short, Columbus was able to convince the king and queen of Spain, which is Ferdinand and Isabella, to fund his trip. Everybody laughed at him where he would go and ask for this funding. No one believed that he could sail west across the Atlantic to reach Asia. You know, they were all under that belief that you would just fall off the edge of the earth, okay? But Ferdinand and Isabella believed that Columbus could do this. So they provided him with the ships and the money and the men that it would take to take such a trip. Now, let me show you the map of his, here it is, his first voyage is here on this blue line. So you can see here, he left Spain and traveled across the Atlantic Ocean, okay? And he's going to, of course, I'm sorry, that's the end, it's this line. So he goes down like this and he travels over here and he first spots land in the Bahamas, specifically in the Bahamas. It's San Salvador. Okay, so that's back up here on your number 2, your blanks. So Columbus is landing in San Salvador, which is the Bahamas, in 1492, marked the European discovery. So we know that that's initially where he landed. Now, he thought that actually was the East Indies. See here with this statement? He thought that he landed in the East Indies. So again, if you were to look at my bigger map, he thinks this area right here is over here, like some of these little islands that are here right off the coast of Asia. So he thought he was right there, right off the coast of Asia in what's called the East Indies, where the Spice Islands are. And so he obviously sees a lot of native people. And of course, what he doesn't realize is this is a brand new tribe of people that no one has encountered, and they are the Arawak tribe. And the Arawak tribe happened to be fairly friendly to Columbus and his men. And Columbus, of course, is searching for gold because the king and queen of Spain are expecting, you know, some type of treasures when Columbus returns. And the Arawak tribe is able to, you know, somehow communicate of a possible location of this gold. And so I'm going to go back to the map of Columbus, and you can see here that he left the Bahamas and he went over here to where Cuba and Haiti are, and it's somewhere in this area he actually found the gold that he will take back with him to Spain. As you can see, he just looped around like this and went back with his ship loaded. Of course, King and Queen, you know, Ferdinand and Isabella, they are thrilled with what Columbus is returning with. And you can see with this map, they are going to send him back 3 more times. So he has a total of 4 voyages to the New World. So, of course, that is going to be on your number 3. And what I want to point out to you before I go back to the PowerPoint is, and this is the proof right here, you see with all 4 of these different trips that end up over in the New World, notice what never happens. He never set foot in what we know to be North America. Never did, okay? He kind of got the edge of South America's coast right here. Obviously, he's all over Central America, okay, right in here. But never set foot in what we know to be North America, okay? He even died not knowing he discovered a new world. Every trip he took back, the second, the third, the fourth, he thought he had landed in the East Indies, those very small islands right off the coast of where Asia is. So unfortunately, he never realized himself that he had discovered a new world. It took other explorers who studied Columbus's notes to figure out what he actually did. And then, of course, he will get the credit. So make sure you have filled in your number 3 with the 4 voyages and that Columbus never set foot in the United States, which is present-day North America. And unfortunately for him, he died not knowing that he discovered this new world. Now, that's going to bring up, of course, the reading that you all did with those questions on Columbus and De las Casas. Let me give you a little bit of information about De las Casas. He was a Spanish priest that sailed with Columbus on his second voyage to try to get to Asia. Because remember, every time Columbus left Spain, his intentions, his goal is to reach Asia. And on this second voyage, De las Casas is going to witness the Spanish, so of course these are men that are with Columbus, treating the native Indians badly. I mean, terribly. You read about some of the horrible atrocities that the Spanish were putting these native people through. And so De las Casas was so disturbed by this that he wrote a letter to the King of Spain, hoping to make him more aware of the situation and that this abuse of the natives for labor purposes would be stopped. I can tell you that at the time of this letter, the abuse is not going to stop, but it will finally end several years down the road. So De las Casas is trying to shed some light on the Spanish abuse of the Native American people. So that's why he's an important figure, and you're going to want to definitely study him. So the big question is, who was America actually named for? We know Columbus died not knowing that he discovered the Americas. So unfortunately for him, his name will not be put on the maps. Another man will be given, credit where it probably wasn't deserved. And I'll explain how that man's name got put on the maps of the Americas. His name is Amerigo Vespucci, and with that name, you could probably figure out he's from Florence, Italy, or at least he's from Italy. He was a merchant, which means he's in the business of trade. And what he did was he traveled, I'll show you the map in a minute, along the eastern coast of South America. And of course, he's documenting, he's journaling this, and he is going to figure out that this is in fact new land. Now, of course, this is after Columbus. He is well aware of Columbus's documentation and seems to realize that, what Columbus did was not. You can see here with this map of Vespucci's voyage, this first one in 1499, you can clearly see him along the coast of South America. And then another trip that he took, the early 1500s, again, the southernmost part of South America. So, of course, he's journaling, he's recording and documenting all of, his voyages. So what happens is the records of Vespucci's trips are given to a German map maker who is in charge of printing and creating a map of, new lands. And so when the German map maker obviously, printed up and drew out these new continents that we all know to be the Americas, he put Vespucci's name on the map. So that is how Vespucci, of course, Amerigo, his first name, that's how we get the Amerigos. Who knows why it's not, the actual last name of Vespucci, but it is the Americas. So unfortunately for Columbus, he doesn't get the official, credit on a map. Amerigo Vespucci does. The last thing we need to go over on your section 4 of your outline are the motivating factors for explorers like Columbus, other Spanish explorers, etc. And the 3 motivated factors, the best way to remember these are the 3 G's: God, gold, and glory. So God is for obvious reasons. They want to spread their religion and Christianity. Gold, they're hoping to find riches wherever they go. And glory, they are hoping to make a name for themselves and earn that fame, to become famous one day. So don't confuse these with the reasons for exploration. These are what we call the motivating factors. They kind of go along with some of the reasons, but remember, there's a lot other reasons than just these 3 factors. So make sure you study them. Again, they're the 3 G's. So this is the end of section 4 on the Americas. And the next video that you're going to look at is going to deal with Roman numeral 5, building an empire.